Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, celebrating expression, fostering talent, and connecting the community to Columbus artists, performances, exhibitions, concerts, public art, and more at columbusmakesart.com. From these contributing sponsors and viewers like you, thank you.
This time on Broad and High, meet an artist whose creations celebrate the natural world. Discover work that is more than meets the eye. Learn about a local organization that's been a catalyst for fine craft for over 60 years. And hear music from flutist Kaylee Fisher. This and more right now on Broad and High. Welcome to Broad and High. I'm your host, Kate Quickle. Shar Norman is an environmental artist whose goal is to engage the viewer and have them stop and take notice. She not only finds inspiration in nature, but turns unfortunate environmental situations into artwork. Shar incorporates foraged materials like roots, bark, and seed pods into her fiber work. While she can often be found out in nature, we were fortunate to catch Shar in her home studio to talk about her techniques and how she is drawn to this work.
My training is in fibers, weaving, coiling, and paper making. And I almost always try to get all of those elements in my work. But then I'm an environmentalist. So that's really important that I bring in those natural materials, and that could be anything from seed pods to tree bark to just stems of weeds that I'm weaving with. So I would describe it as it's three-dimensional normally, sculpture, and starts on the loom. So I'll start with a woven piece that I'll then form three-dimensionally and in some way either attach it to a natural element or incorporate that natural element within the sculpture itself. I hike every day, and I have since I was a kid. So I'm out in the woods mostly. I'm originally from Southern California, so when I moved here, it's like woods, wow, trees. But I think an important piece that really got me on this path is when I noticed the emerald ash borers killing all of our trees, okay? And as the tree dies, the bark sheds off in these beautiful long pieces. And actually the piece behind me is an installation I did about the emerald ash borer. So I started collecting this bark and noticing the path of the bug is really, really beautiful. But I wanted to say something about these trees and what's happening. So I wanted to recreate the shape of the tree with handmade paper. And then hang them. So they hang as if they're ghost trees. And, you know, just the whole idea that we lost all these trees was really inspirational to me, but also pretty sad. This is hemp, unspun hemp. It's been carded, clean carded. It's ready to spin into twine or thread or whatever, but I like to use it raw. And I put it in here just for texture. The whole idea of those weavings you're standing by, these are trees. And I kind of set up a little experiment for myself that these are all forged materials or materials I already had, nothing new. Well, I wanted to see what I could use. And again, I'm referencing trees and all their variety and fungi. That's why I have all these little things like what grows on the trees, the tree trunks. But I often, will just go out in the yard or to the woods and I'll grab sticks and things to weave in.
I'm usually more function than form, but
I want people to notice nature and how we react to it, that it's a symbiotic relationship that we have to nurture, that we're caretakers. We're not here to use things. So I want people to look at like a simple seed pod, and I'll encase it in a weaving so that you notice it and you think, oh, this is something special. Or bark off of a tree that I've used for a sculpture, and people will notice it and say, wow, there's some real beauty to this. A lot of times it's things people will just walk over in the forest and never notice, but I'm trying to enhance it so they do notice and really think about that, how beautiful it is and how it's very important to us as the human race. If we destroy the environment, there's no hope for any of us, so. That would be the crux of it. Just the act of creating is really important. I mean, my mind is always going a mile a minute on what can I do with this or how can I express that. That to me is very rewarding. And then when that comes to fruition, which happens through a lot of trial and error, a lot of working, a lot of engineering of the fiber, and having that realized in the way I had wanted and say what I wanted, that I think is so rewarding.
To see more of Char's work, check her out on Instagram at Char Steger Norman. Marsha Armstrong is an artist whose work explores the relationship between science and the arts. In a recent exhibit, she also introduced interactive technology into the mix. We met with Marsha in her studio that she also calls a laboratory to get a behind-the-scenes look at her latest work in progress. She shared with us her passion for creating pieces of art that tell multi-layered stories.
If you wanted to put me into some kind of a niche, I would be considered an eco-artist. My work right now integrates the natural world with the fine arts. I use a lot of horticulture and the knowledge of horticulture. I also use geobotany in my work. So it really is kind of an integration of science and the arts. Primarily I use a lot of bamboo and a lot of willow. I'm researching materials. There's not really a playbook in what I'm doing or the visual art form that I have. I kind of think of my studio as like a little science lab, which I love. I observe a lot of things. I would just like to bring to attention some of the things that are in the natural world that we cannot see. That is how I come up with my visual expression. They're not planned out. They are just what they are as they grow into a form. Each of the bird nests hold an infrared sensor and a soundboard. As you walk and approach each one, there will be music that's activated. What I have done is I have taken the sound of 5 birds that actually do inhabit and make use of the willow grove. And from that point on, what happens is that I have sent this to a musician to translate that music into birdsong. So the flautist has gone ahead and she has listened to each of the bird songs and then done her own interpretation of those bird songs with the flute. When you pass by all 5 of them, there will be this hopefully cacophony, which I can never say, of music. I am not one that can plan out pieces. I have to do them spontaneously, and so much of it has to do with finding out what the materials can do and where does that lead me. And I feel like if there's an answer, an articulation for where the inspiration is, after I start a piece, it almost becomes a conversation within itself, where I'll say, this is a good starting point, where does it go from here? And I think that motivates me to find out how to put that piece together. I have always thought there was more than just what we see. You know, it's under the ground.
To see more of Marsha's work, check her out online at m-armstrong.com. In our next segment, we learn more about a type of artistic endeavor that results in objects that are often created using traditional techniques. We step into the kitchen to learn more about an organization that's been advancing the legacy of fine craft and those who create it since 1963. Joining me in the kitchen today is Kim Nagorski, the Executive Director of the Ohio Craft Museum. Kim, hi, thanks for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me. I think this is going to be fun.
Me too. So tell us a little bit about the history of the Ohio Craft Museum.
Well, it actually started as Ohio Designer Craftsmen. It's a nonprofit organization started in 1963, and it was founded by fine craft artists and university professors to promote the fine craft field.
That's really interesting. I wasn't familiar with that history.
Yeah, and then they went ahead and opened up the Ohio Craft Museum in the Grandview area in 1993.
So what kind of work would someone expect to see at an exhibit there?
Well, since we are the craft museum, it will be all fine craft, and there are 5 mediums: ceramics, fiber and textiles, wood, metal, and glass.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
a wide range.
Yes, yeah.
Very cool. Well, I'm so excited to learn more. I'm also excited to make a delicious treat. Do you like
Yes.
chocolate?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. So we're making Viennese brownies. They're a brownie kind of combined with like a cheesecake mixture in the middle.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Can't go wrong. But there's a lot of little steps, so it's not super complicated, but we have a lot of bowls.
Okay.
So hopefully you have someone to do your dishes for you at home. They'll work for brownies. So before we get started, we'll review what ingredients we need.
Okay.
For the brownies, we'll need 2 ounces of unsweetened chocolate, 1 stick of unsalted butter, 2 eggs, 1 cup of granulated sugar, 3/4 of a cup flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese softened, 1/3 of a cup of granulated sugar, and 1 egg. Okay, Kim, before we get started making these delicious brownies, tell me about the other ways people can experience the Ohio Craft Museum.
Well, I want to say first that admission is free of charge, and we do offer a lot of education programs. We have summer camps for kids, we have teen workshops, we have a lot of DIY classes for adults, and we do some professional workshops for artists.
Wow, that's a lot of
Yeah.
opportunity for people to get
Yes.
involved. They all happen on site at the
Yes,
museum?
they do. Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
that's
We
wonderful.
also, I have to say, we also have a gift shop, which is awesome. We have about over 125 artists in the gift shops. Yes. You can do a lot
Wonderful.
of shopping.
Some good shopping
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Gifts for
Yes.
teachers and family and friends.
Yes, it's a scary place to work.
I'm sure it'd be dangerous. Like, here, put my paycheck into
Yeah.
the gift shop. But beautiful pieces available there.
Yes.
I like this little thing.
Yes, yes, we have that there.
I'm excited to get started. Let's kind of go through our steps here.
Okay.
Like we talked about, super simple brownies, but a couple different stations we're working with. So the first thing we're going to do is melt the butter and chocolate together. We'll get those all nice and warm. And then what I can have you do here is just sift our dry ingredients together. You can sift with a whisk or a sifter. We're using a very special fork. So where you can dump the flour and baking powder and salt into this bowl
Okay.
and just sift
All
it
right.
together. And then I'm going to get started doing our cream cheese filling, which is kind of like a cheater cheesecake. So we've just got our cream cheese, some sugar, and an egg that we're just going to beat together till it's nice and creamy and fluffy. Okay, thank you for sifting this. If you just want to keep
Sure.
an eye on the chocolate and the butter,
Okay.
and then we won't be able to get much conversing done once I get this going. Okay, so we've done some of our prep here. Thank you for mixing up those dry ingredients, our chocolate and
Yes,
butter.
already.
Looks gorgeous. And then we have our little like cheesecake filling all mixed together. So a lot of the stuff can just be set aside until we're ready for it. So I'm gonna scoot that over, and then we'll continue putting the brownie batter together. So I'm gonna add in some eggs and just beat them up until they get a little fluffy, and then we'll add sugar, and then we'll add the delicious chocolate and butter. Now we just have to assemble, essentially.
Okay.
So we're gonna go brownie batter, cheesecake mix, brownie batter.
Okay.
So they'll look kind of just like regular brownies, and then you cut them open, and there's a surprise inside. So I'm gonna put in like eyeballing about a third of the brownie batter. We don't want to do too much of it. So I'll just kind of, but you really can't mess it up. Famous last words. That's probably good. I'll just kind of move this around. And then you can use that scraper to
Okay.
kind of plop the cream cheese mixture
So how
in.
do you want it smoothed out, or are you just plopping
Best as
it?
you can. You want it to just be even. It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't need to look perfectly smooth, but you do want it to just kind of cover the surface. And again, if it
Okay.
mixes in or it's not perfect, it'll still be delicious.
Okay.
And the sweetness of the cream cheese is kind of cut by that bittersweet chocolate. That's probably good. I'll just nudge it around into its little brownie friend. You can just set that down.
Okay.
Then we'll top it with the last of the brownie batter. Pop it in the oven. There we go. No one would know. These brownies hold a secret.
No.
Okay, so we put it all together. We preheated our oven to 350 degrees, and it bakes 35 to 45 minutes. I would start checking it at 35 minutes. You can stick a knife or a toothpick in
Okay.
just to make sure it comes out clean, and you'll start to
Excellent.
smell it. It'll
Yes.
smell amazing.
Yeah.
Let's get it in the oven. Okay, Kim, while our brownies bake, tell me about some of the ways that you're bringing craft art into the community.
Well, we are located, like I said, in the Grandview area, but we do want to get out into the community, and part of our mission is to engage and enrich the community. So we've been going out to the libraries for after-school programs during the year, and now you'll see us coming out into the community. We'll be at the Columbus Arts Festival. We just did the Columbus Commons event last weekend, and we're going to be doing some of those kids events on Fridays. And we will be doing Worthington Library and Go Forth at in the Victorian Village.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So these are great opportunities
Yeah,
for people
so-
to kind of get hands-on. Is it kids,
And
adults,
we do have,
everybody?
yes, kids and adults. And a lot of them we have activities for you to do right there. We just did the COSI Big Science event too, and that was a lot of fun. We did indigo dyeing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like an ancient
yes,
art. Very
yes.
neat.
Yeah, and it went with science too.
So there's great ways for you to pair the
Yes.
crafting with all these other pieces of our
Yes.
community and culture.
And I did want to talk about a program that we've started with Ohio Health. This is probably our third year working with Ohio Health's bereavement program, and they asked us to set this up for them. We do it at the museum. Our outreach coordinator helps people who are going through grief make ceramic memory bowls. So yes, so they learn different ways to hand build, and then they make a bowl. We fire it. They get to decorate it, glaze it, and then it comes back on the last day. And they're all it's a really great program. I think this is our 5th or 6th time doing it in the last 3 years. So
What a touching
yeah,
memory, a
It
little
is.
keepsake.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Kim, our delicious brownies are out of the oven. We let them cool, cut them up.
Yes.
They're so, I cannot wait for you to try
They
them.
look
And
fantastic.
you can see that yummy like cheesecake
Yes,
layer
yes.
inside. Oh, they're just so good. Before we dig in, tell me one more thing you'd like people to know about the Ohio Craft Museum.
Okay, well, thank you for asking. Actually, I wanted to tell you about Winter Fair. A lot of people know Winter Fair. It's a large fine art and craft fair that takes place every December at the fairgrounds, and we do put that on. A lot of people don't think about the museum with that, but we'll have about 375 artists there. So from
Wow.
across the country. So another place to shop.
Good to know. And in
Yes.
right before the holidays,
Yes,
that's wonderful.
perfect.
Yeah, I think it's important for people in the community to make that connection. Some people
Yes.
might know Winter Fair but not realize.
Right.
Good to know. I think we should have a brownie.
Yes,
We've earned it.
sounds
Got a little
good.
napkin in case it gets messy. Well, Kim, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping me make these brownies.
All right.
To learn more about Ohio designer craftsmen, find them online at ohiocraft.org. We end this episode with flutist Kaylee Fisher. She's a musician and music educator who finds joy in sharing her love of flute playing. We recorded her in a treehouse, befitting the environmental theme of this episode. Let's take a listen. To hear more, find Kaylee on YouTube at FisherKK. Well, that's our show. Remember, you can find all of our stories online at WOSU.org as well as on our YouTube channel. For all of us here at WOSU, I'm Kate Quickle. Thanks for watching.
Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, celebrating expression, fostering talent, and connecting the community to Columbus artists, performances, exhibitions, concerts, public art, and more at columbusmakesart.com.